Welcome to WeLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 11 of compensation benefits. Topics which we are going to cover in this session are components of executive compensation, basic components of executive pay, executive compensation, collaboration of executive compensation to performance, executive compensation theories, relationship between fixed and variable pay, performance measurement, different criteria of executive compensation. Now let's discuss about the components of executive compensation. The process of selecting and hiring senior executive capable of motivating people and leading a company to its goal can be challenging. In today's business world, executives enjoy more negotiating power than ever, as they can command a high salary and compensation plan owing to the tremendous need for capable candidates. The components of executive compensation can be divided into three broad groups. These are base pay, long-term incentives, and annual incentive. So base pay includes the benefits like cash salary, flexible benefits, and statutory benefits, whereas long-term incentives include cash, shareholder value focus, reference against peer group. Now, the annual incentives include delivery in cash, deferral, value-added measures. Moving towards the executive compensation. Executive compensation include base salary, bonus, incentives such as stock options, deferred compensation plan, severance package, singing bonus, flexible work schedules, prepared compensation, and prerequisites. The unique factors of executive compensation are: executive compensation cannot be compared to wage and salary schemes of non-marginal employee of an organization. As opposed to the employment agreement of other employees, executives are not allowed to option of having union and collective bargaining. Executive compensation is usually not based on individual performance measure but based on the unit or organizational performance. Next are the calibration of executive compensation to performance. Executive cannot just have a high package once they are designated to the top position of the organization. There are many other focus or factors on which they will be given the hike or the compensation. The main basic consideration is the performance. A performance measurement tool is used to measure the performance of the executives. Many companies use financial measures such as return on equity, return to shareholder, earning per share, net income before taxes, and other criteria while deciding executive performance rewards. However, a number of firms also consider non-financial organizational measures to performance when determining executive bonus and incentives. Customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, productivity, and quality are other areas measured for executive performance reward. However, a number of firms also consider non-financial organizational measures of performance when determining executive bonus and incentives. Customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, productivity, and quality are other areas measured for executive performance reward. Next are the executive compensation theories. Several theories have involved on the subject of executive compensation. A few of them are as follows: agency theory, tournament theory, social comparison theory. Next are the relationship between fixed and the variable pay. Globally, every company has more or less two kinds of pay, namely fixed pay and variable pay. Fixed pay is the basic pay and is sufficient for the executive to live comfortably. This is guaranteed amount given to the executive at the end of the month, even if the milestone is not achieved. The fixed pay remain more or less unchanged across the organization. Variable pay. It is the compensation given based on the performance or results. Organizations link their executive variable pay plans to individual, team, and organization performance. Variable pay is a huge incentive and a reward directly proportional to the expectations of the organization, such as short-term and long-term incentives increased or decreased. Next are the relationship, which shows the popular thumb rule dictates that the variable pay is directly proportional to the level or responsibilities the contribution an employee is able to make to the revenue or growth of the organization. However, standalone roles like sales, where the performance directly affect top line revenues, are an exception. The most important advantage of including variable pay in executive compensation is to motivate the executives to perform better by providing incentives. It also strengthens the feeling that the organization is sharing its profit with its employee, thus creating a sense of belonging among them and differentiate between high and mediocre performance. Next is the performance measurement in executive incentives. Most organizations use many ways for performance measurement. The common component of performance measurement include profitability, efficiency, quality, and time, value for shareholder, innovation, customer satisfaction, and accountability. Performance measurement. Some of the important criteria that incentive performance should meet are capable of being lined up with shareholder reference, describable, controllable, thorough communication. Performance measurement, the criteria is line up with shareholder directly or indirectly. Shareholder return based measure is directly linked up with the line shareholders, whereas company specific measures are indirectly based. Describable. In case of shareholder return based measures, it's yes. And in case of company specific measures, it is typically definable. Controllable, limited to the top tier executive group, typically more comfortable to market volatility. Thorough communication is necessary in both the cases. The popular performance measurement criteria is total shareholder return, which is based on stock option plan. The internal performance criteria are return on equity, earning per share, and economic value added. External inputs for performance measurement are following industry standard for short, medium, and long-term incentives, identifying external value drivers to understand the state of the company, understanding the relevance of any financial ratio. Similarly, internal input for performance measurements are understanding the internal value drivers, focusing on key strategic objective, linking executive behavior to business performance. The benefits of performance-based incentives are focus on strategic goal, helps in monitoring the performance of executive and also controlling overpayment of incentives, executive compensation and organizational strategy. There is a big debate over how executive compensation can be related to organizational strategy. The business strategy plays an important role in the design of executive compensation. A company needs to create a dynamic work frame so as to achieve the proposed target and also take care of issues of pay equity and ethics associated with executive compensation. Some of the guidelines to achieve this are basic salary of executives, pay equity, executive bonus, long-term incentives, ethical concern with executive compensation. Next are the different criteria for executive compensation. Many issues are present in designing executive compensation. There are a lot of factors to be taken into account to ensure an optimum compensation package for executives. Some important criteria are strategy criteria, role criteria, behavior criteria, size, market, peer compensation, and in the last there are questions which are based on the session. What are fixed and the variable pay? Explain the performance measurement in executive compensation. That's all for this session. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.